Sing dum diggy dum baby do ba do and dum diggy dum bam dum bam bam diggy dum bam dum bam diggy dum sing dum diggy dum baby do ba do and dum diggy dum bam bam diggy dum bam bam diggy dum.
When I started fishing years ago, my wife said, "Oh, good, this would be a nice cheap hobby."
Yeah.
A bass boat, 16 rods later.
And she's the one suggesting the bass boat.
Yeah, we came back home. She says, we came back to St. Louis. She says, "Well, honey, we're in St. Louis. You think we could get a bass boat?" Man, I've never loved you more. I'm with Royce Simmons, our guide for the week. Royce, we're going to be doing some fishing out here on the lake. What are we going to be fishing for?
Well, Bruce, first off, we're going to be fishing for white bass, and hopefully we might get us a big old hybrid striper mixed in, kind of a bonus fish.
Those hybrids are fun.
Oh man, they're called speed merchants.
Yeah.
They are just so strong, and they pull hard, they'll pull your boat on you.
They're great fish. Now, I understand we're going to be fishing differently than a lot of guys might be used to fishing. What are we going to be doing?
Yeah, this time of the year, Bruce, we do what we call vertical jigging 99% of the time, and I'll show you what we're going to be using.
Okay.
It's a little 1-ounce hunk of lead. Generically, they're called slabs, different colors, chartreuse, silver, white. The color doesn't seem to matter a whole lot. When the fish are biting, it doesn't matter. When they're not biting, it doesn't matter. So we're going to be just dropping that down to the bottom, slowly but surely raising that rod up about a foot or two, and kind of feeling a little light tick on the end of that rod, then set the hook.
And set the hook. Sounds like fun. Can we expect to catch a lot of them?
On a normal day, say we have a 3-person party in our boat, the expect is to get a 75 fish limit. You can keep 25 fish 10 inches or more in length. They're a nice one. Oh, that is a quality white bass. Whoa, just right.
Well, back home in Colorado, a lot of my fishing is involved on the rivers. So I do a bunch of wading and either fly fishing, but then once it gets windy, a lot of times I'll go to a spin caster and throw baits. So I don't do hardly any vertical jig fishing like this.
Up north, we fish for white bass, but we usually use a popping cork, like they use down in Gulf of Mexico for redfish and trout. And we'll just put a little Cleo or Phoebe behind it and cast it out to the school and reel it in slowly. And you know, sometimes we'll catch 2-3 fish at a time doing it that way. It's a lot of fun.
Man, that one's hit hard.
That one's got a little bit of spunk. I did a little bit of fishing when I was a kid, but it's really been the last probably 6-7 years that I've really been fishing a lot. Favorite place to go fishing is Arrow Lake Lodge in Canada. Unfortunately, we only get to go every other year, and when we go, we catch a lot of smallmouth. Smallmouth bass has got to be my favorite fish to catch.
We're gonna let him go. Oh yeah. A fish that about 30 years old, that fish. Chris, I understand the biggest fish you ever caught was a shark. How'd that happen?
Well, we were on our honeymoon, my wife and I, and she agreed to let us take a deep sea fishing charter out. We were fishing for marlin and didn't catch any marlin. In fact, the first about 3 hours of fishing, it was a 4-hour charter, and the first 3 hours, we didn't get a bite. I was sitting there on the cooler getting more and more annoyed, and I was sitting right next to the rod, and it just started screaming. First, I had my wife get into the fighting chair, and he handed the rod to her, and she couldn't even turn the reel. So she handed it over to me, and I started reeling it in, started fighting the fish, and we got it up by the boat, and turned out to be about a 6-foot dusky shark, and we pulled it up onto the stern of the boat, got some pictures with it, and released it.
And I also caught my biggest fish during my honeymoon down in the Florida Keys. We were out deep sea fishing, and my wife and I had caught some fish, including a barracuda and a kingfish. But it turned out my biggest fish ended up being about a 25-30 pound mahi, and we were able to take it in and took it to a local restaurant there on the beach resort, and they cooked it up for us, and it was some of the best fresh tasting fish I've ever had.
Well, I wasn't even fishing when I got married. It took me probably, of course, 13 years before I even started fishing after I got married. My biggest fish was in Florida on a spring break with the family, and I caught a 32-inch redfish off the breakers, and boy, it put up a good fight and bet the pole and swam under the boat. It was a lot of fun.
Put him in line with him.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Good.
Oh, that one? We got the ultralight bent over.
I got a little ultralight here. And about 2-pound test line. So if I net stuff that you go, why is he netting that? That's why. It's got a 2-pound test line on it.